Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership will be beneficial for Polish companies, consumers and for the economy.
Polish GDP can increase by 0.2 up to 0.4 of GDP, which is not an impressive figure. But on the whole, if we think in money terms, it's already quite a big amount of money. It might be, in principle, beneficial for some smaller enterprises as well. Usually, smaller enterprises are unable to export at more distant markets because those border barriers are quite important.
Tariffs, which in some cases reach 30%, are one of the obstacles.
Yeah, the idea of TTIP is that the tariffs will be even completely reduced, but the major problem in the case of agriculture is not tariffs but non-tariff measures, and especially divergent phytosanitary and sanitary regulations. The TTIP gives us a chance to have common standards, and those common standards can really facilitate the trade between those two trading nations. Only 20% of all companies in every country are able to export. Only larger and more efficient companies, which means that for majority of small companies, the external markets are closed. But if we think also about those possibilities of expanding indirect exports via other European countries, I think there is a pretty good chance to increase exporting potential of Polish companies. Many of Polish small manufacturers, I would say especially in the automotive sectors, are suppliers of components and spare parts for the larger producers. So if there is a chance that those larger producers expand their export, there will be also a chance for expanding indirect exports from Poland, let's say, to Germany, UK or other countries, having large multinational companies and exporting those goods to United States.
Companies and consumers will also benefit from higher competition in the market.
In the energy sector, there will be cheaper energy, and cheaper energy means lower cost of the production and therefore being more competitive. Then there are sectors in the EU which are relatively quite closed and immune to the competition. I would say this is the agricultural sector. To some extent, this is the textile sector and steel sector to some extent. So in these cases, the increased competition from American partners will force domestic, EU producers to improve the level of competitiveness.
For some sectors, the growth of competition may be fairly detrimental. That is why they are quite reluctant to accept any changes. However, in general, trade liberalization always means more trade, more competition, higher output, and higher welfare.